Hiya, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rosie Henshaw. If you're new here, then welcome. It's lovely to meet you. And if you're already existed, guys, then thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate it. So grab yourself a nice cup of tea and some snacks, and let's get into today's video. I have just got a little water in my Emma Bridgewater Hearts mug. I'm feeling very festive today. I feel like I'm a little bit of Mrs. Claus. It's a bit early, but I do feel like that. So today's video is another DIY video. Less DIY than I'd have hoped actually though, so I will explain. So basically, I ordered the fireplace. I've been going on about this for ages, haven't I, guys? I'm like, do you know what? I really want a fireplace in that living room, like what used to be the old dining room. When we got it extended, we've got the dining table in here, and we've also got like the breakfast bar and kitchen. And then our old living room is our sort of like more of a formal living room. It's like quite cosy, and we sit in there, and it's where we have Christmas, and you know, we sit in there every evening. It's a very cosy room. However, the room that sort of like was the dining room, we have a sofa and another TV, because obviously there's lots of us. If the kids come round or they have sleepovers, there's another space for us. However, I did say to Gary, I feel like it become a bit of a corridor. So we had like a unit on the side with a TV on the wall, which used to be where my dresser was. And then we've got a sofa across the opposite side, and you just walk through there. It feels like there's no space for everyone. I feel like you're all on the sofa, and when you're sitting there chatting, you're just all on this one area. So I wanted to break it down and reconfigure it a bit, and I felt like by having a fireplace with a TV on instead, it gave it like a cozy look. And I didn't want to have it on the wall where there is a fireplace, like you could break it through and it's like there's a chimney there as well. Just because I feel like I'm not going to have it on anyway. I also feel like if you're walking into the room, then you've got to have the sofa on this, and I feel like then it sort of blocks your way as you do come through. It just made it feel like more bulky. So the way I wanted to do it is have the faux wall done on the internal wall, and I know a few people thought that was a bit weird. So I wanted a similar fireplace to what we've got in the other living room, because I just feel like that's what makes it feels really cozy. And then when it comes to Christmas and autumn, we can decorate it and it just look really nice. Come spring, I can have pots of flowers on there. I just feel like it's a nice area. I can put deco and stuff on it, but also it looks fitting. It's like part of the room. So I ordered the fireplace, and I had a little shop about, and I was having a look to find where I could find the cheapest deals, and found one that I really loved. Very similar to the one I've got in the other living room. The design's slightly different. I prefer the design in the other living room, but realistically the difference in price was quite a lot just for a slight different design. I was like, no, I'm gonna stick with this because it will look nice once it's done. And I'll insert a clip and all that of what it looked like before, etc. However, when it come, I had all plans of asking Gary, like roping him in to help me with some of the heavy lifting and like scribe out part of the cornice and, you know, the skirting, build a frame, do like a dry lining wall. I'd have asked my granddad to come around too, because that's what he used to do stud walls, and ask him to sort of help along. However, when it got delivered, the base of they call it the half, don't they? Not the hearth, they call it the half. When the half got delivered, it was much bigger than the one I've got in the other living room. So then it became apparent I was going to have to bury some of it within the actual stud wall itself, which was complicating it a little bit more. Then as well, it may have needed lifting the base where it come out to be higher. Like, you know, at the back of the fire comes out, like the cast iron bit is flat, and then it goes out where the tray would be. And where we needed the half to be, there'd have been a bit of a gap, so that needed building up too. Then there was a plug that would have been in the way if we wanted it directly in the middle of the wall, which was a bit complicated. And then also the weight of the cast iron insert itself. I'd completely forgotten how heavy they are. So when I got the other one delivered, you're talking like nearly 5.5 years ago now we got that one delivered. And I'll be honest with you, I don't remember it being that heavy. It feels like they're heavier now. And there are like certain lines and stuff on the granite as well, the half as well, for like expansion. So I think they've made them safer, and I do believe it's slightly more bulky. But I was really nervous because when it comes so heavy, I said to Gary, I don't want that to be unsafe. I do not want the framework to not be substantial enough that I'd never forgive myself. My children and their safety is more important than me trying to prove a point that I can do this DIY. So when it came, I got in a bit of a panic, and I sort of like messaged all of my friends to ask if they knew anyone that done fireplaces. And one come back, my friend Vicky come back, and she'd had her fireplace done by a local carpenter. And actually, do you know what? He done an amazing job, and he was really, really reasonable. Would you say it was like super reasonably priced, girl?
Yeah.
so reasonably priced. I don't think, and I'm being honest now, I don't think we could have done it for ourselves much cheaper. Do you?
No.
With the timber, plasterboard and stuff like that, we'd have still had to have got it plastered by a professional, and he's subcontracted someone in to do that. And then with how they've done it, and he also as well, like when they've done the skirting, normally you scribe it in, he was like, we'll take that off the wall because you're not going to see that anyway, and we'll reuse that around the edging just to save money in certain areas. He come back so reasonable, and I was a little bit panicked. So we've had someone come out and do that, and I genuinely feel like it's so sturdy, isn't it? It's like so solid. And the way he's configured it is like buried some of the herf as well, so it's like a nice depth, not like massive. Because when I went on to order it, I got the measurements from my last one, and I'm sure I've like ordered the right size, but it come up like huge, like so deep, and it took up so much space in the room, so it's buried some of that. So it was just a little bit past my skill set. I think if I was hanging on there, maybe just a picture, or maybe just like, you know, like an opening where you put logs and stuff in it, or just suffice around, 100% I could have done that and put the timber behind to make sure there was a structure for the TV brackets and stuff to go on. However, the bit of the cast iron, I kid you not, if you ever get a cast iron fireplace, you will understand it was so incredibly heavy. I thought if I screw in and it's not substantial enough and it goes over, that's like super dangerous. It's like taking them out, like that is just, yeah, too much. So we got that done. But obviously I have filmed little snippets of it, and I have painted it, and I've made it look really nice, and we've hung a telly and that above it, and it looks like an artwork, so I've got all these pieces in it as well. So hopefully you enjoy today's video and you'll see what it looks like. Hopefully you enjoy. I think it looks really nice. Are you happy with it, girl?
Yeah, I love it.
It looks beautiful. So hopefully you enjoy this video, and yeah, let's get in. So the plug socket used to be here, and what they've done is so that this is central to the middle of the wall, moved it over behind you. And also the half is quite large as well, so they've just hidden a bit back as well, so it isn't too large, sticking out too much.
So I wasn't filming too much as I didn't want to get in their way, but I did manage to get this little bit of footage. Now when this point was done, I was like, oh okay, you're ready to plasterboard. I assumed this was it. They added so much more wood than this, so I'm so glad I didn't do it myself, as I know I definitely wouldn't have had it safe enough.
So this is the fireplace currently. I have primed it now, and I do like this better. I know some people are going to be like, that's absolutely criminal that you've painted that. However, it just didn't go with the colour of the floor, and obviously we've got the colour of the floor and it matches obviously the table, etc. And it just was a much darker, more orangey wood, and I probably could have faffed about and got it lighter, and then I still think I wouldn't have liked it. I like that it sort of just fits back nice. I wanted to mirror basically what we've got in the other lounge because I really love the look of that. So we're getting this plastered today. The guy's coming out, but he's going to be this afternoon, and he's also going to be putting the coving up as well because we said we wanted the coving on this too. However, the carpenter that actually built this for us, he's going to be putting on the picture rail and the skirting, but we've got to wait until the plaster's dry. And he did say the plaster would possibly be dry in a few days, but he goes on holiday, so we've got to wait another week really, since once the plaster's done, because he goes away this week, for it to be done. But at least we'll know it be properly dry, and then I can obviously paint it and then give this its last coat, because it's just got like a matte chalky primer on this at the minute. But yeah, I'm so pleased. I mean, we did have a bit of a kerfuffle because the plug socket was right directly, and we wanted this in the centre of the wall. I probably would have just had it over a little bit off centre, but Gary wanted it in the centre, and that's fair enough. So it went right halfway across the plug. So we had to get an electrician in also to move this. This is another one of the reasons why I was so glad that we ended up getting someone to do this for us. It was just a bit, you know, of a pain, some of the things, and if I'd have come across this, it would have been, I'd probably got in a bit of a panic. So they've put a plug behind, and in here I can get to the plug, which works out perfect. So it's perfect, and obviously there's a little hole behind the TV. TV is going to be changed over. So Millie broke her TV. When we redone her room, we put it up just on the side because we were waiting to get her like a little wooden easel to put her TV on, and it fell off and it broke. So what we're actually going to do is we needed to buy a new TV anyway, and I said to Gary I'd rather a real flat one to go on this wall. I'll quickly show you because I'm going to insert a little clip. We're actually doing sorting the garden out at the moment. So in the garden, we've got someone out there doing the fences.
All of the big bushes had to be cut out of there because they were literally out of control. And they were costing us a fortune every year to get them cut down. So we got them cut out, and we've got the plans to make this little section like really like country flowers, lots of like loads of florals. We didn't take this bush out, and we didn't plan to take the red robin tree that we had out either. However, we had to because we then learned that the tree surgeon said it was dead, it was dying. So we're having these fences put in now, because these were all like those shoddy little ones there that you can see, and they was all broken. They are our neighbour's fences, but a lot of the damage would have been caused from the bushes on our side, so we're going to replace these, and he's doing that, and I just think it's going to look so much nicer once these are up there. I'm going to paint these all black, clean these ones down because these are the original ones, and these were like shorter ones here behind the bush. So I'm going to paint them all black to match the other side, and then I'm going to be planting lots of flowers. I want lots of bulbs in here, I want lots of flowers and pinks, and yeah, I think it will look really nice. And there's a big patch at the end that you can't see because he's got his tools there, the guy fitting the fences. But it's like really muddy where the bush was over it, so it's ruining the grass as well. So once these are up, I'm going to scrape all the grass. I'm also going to, you know, neaten it all up, painting the fences, and we want lots of pink flowers. But the little azalea that's here, that blooms in loads of lovely pink flowers. So we're going to keep that all nice. But that'll look really nice. But anyway, what we're going to do is as well, we're also going to have the telly much lower. I'm not going to be having it up that high because it would look ridiculous, and you'd obviously don't want your necks to be bending. So it's going to be near enough sitting on this, and I'm also just going to put on like a piece of like, it looks like artwork, don't it? Yeah. So I'm going to have like, it will look like a piece of artwork when it's on standby, and I just think it will look really nice here, especially. I keep thinking Christmas gal. It'll look really nice.
That's something just a temporary thing for the weekend, wasn't it? For the kids.
Yeah, to put it up. We put it up and we was like, oh, probably about that high. You want it a bit above it. And then when me and Gary stood away from it, we was like, what on earth? That is so high. I mean, when you sit here now.
Yeah, bad neck.
It would do. It's so high, but it's obviously not going to be. But yeah, it's not the... yeah, it's very, very high where we put it. Plaster is done. They've plastered the little hole here, and obviously it's got to dry, and then once it's dried we'll be having the skirting fitted on this as well as the picture rail. But they've done the cornice, and it looks really nice. It's actually amazing how quickly it's drying already. The plasterer did actually say, he said it's very warm in here. He was like, so I dare say it'll probably dry by tonight.
What's your favourite ice cream flavour? Chocolate. Chocolate? Yeah. With these in there.
For the actual fire surround, I'm using this Insta bin, and the reason I need to do this is because I'm going to show you an up close. I went over this with a normal primer. I basically run out quite a bit of the Insta bin, so I only went over the knots on this. It'll take you off without making you dizzy. And you can see where the Insta bin was and where it wasn't. So it's been an eventful day, guys. I had to paint this with the stain blocker, but obviously my phone died. And then we do have a funeral tomorrow, so we've had to pick up some cakes and some drinks, so we stopped midway. And then I did prepare a roast dinner, and while I was painting, and when I went to check back on it, the meat and stuff after, we realised that the element's probably gone in our oven because it's just not hot. Yeah, that broke. So now we've got pizzas on the way. It's rather late, and this is how far we've come. This is just normal white, just like trade, you know, pure brilliant white. And the colour we've got on the walls is Strong White by Farrow & Ball, but we get it mixed up by Valspar. And it's so nice. I get this in a mid sheen. and now I'm just having to try and eradicate the yellow from the Zinsta bin stain blocker, because the stain blocker is a little bit of a creamy yellowy tone. So yeah, gonna do that. I have done this wall here, and I've also done this wall here. I've like redone this bit up here, but this was the colour in the kitchen. It was strong white by Farrenball as well, but obviously over time it's sort of gone. So what we've done is I've done to this section and this section, but what I will do is I will do the other part of the kitchen. But obviously there is no two walls together. It's separated by this wall here and separated by a whole wall of cupboards. So there's no painting that's sort of like you're going to see the difference between the two. But I will possibly do that next week. But yeah, I just feel like it looks really lovely and fresh. Obviously all of the white work has had a touch up too. All of the skirtings have had a touch up, they've all been filled. And also as well, I've took the masking tape off of here. I did actually spill a little bit of the Zinsta bin on here and I was really worried. But the crate that come on the inside was actually silver, like a silvery colour, and the guy that fitted the stove sprayed it with this for us and left this just in case we needed any more, you know, touching up work. And I literally just sprayed it on a little bit. So the, you know, I've just wiped it, so there's a few marks where it's a bit needs wiping down. But yeah, done that. So I'm just touching it up. As you can see, we've got a few like darker patches coming through that still need to be touched up. But yeah, I just love this colour. It's just such a nice colour, and it goes so nice with the green and stuff as well. Really nice colour.
I'll come back to you. Mine's in yours.
So guys, the telly is up. This is actually what it's going to be like when it's off. I'm going to change the picture so you can change this to sort of any artwork that you like. But what I am going to do is I'm going to be making a frame. So I run to B&Q because we had a little look. The cheapest place where I can get a frame for this TV, so it comes with a frame, you can click them on, they're called bezels, and you click them on, and even a plain white one that just makes it look like exactly the same frame as this but white, is 90 quid, like £89.98 it was. And I was like, I'm not paying that. So I went to B&Q with the idea that we could make a frame for it ourselves. So I got this little L-shaped trim, which is perfect. You can see that. You see that? L-shaped trim, so it'll go over the top, like in the sides and the front. But I don't want to just leave it plain. I mean, if you was going to do this yourself, you probably need 2 lengths of this. And this is £8.98, so you only need 2 of these. So like, you know, for under 20 quid, you could make the frame yourself. However, I do want to add this really beautiful like beaded trim, because I feel like if I glue that on, wood glue it on, it's going to look like a really beautiful frame. And you could stain this if you wanted to, paint it any colour you want. I'm going to probably paint it white to keep it going, because obviously I've got the mirror on the wall and I've got all the white frames in my dining room. I'm going to make this myself. So managed to get everything for 28 quid, because I've got 2 lengths of this one, a length for this one. And I've also got a couple of little L brackets, so these will be screwed in on the corners just to keep it like really secure. And then I'm going to use grab adhesive to glue that fancy trim on top of the wooden L shape, which I'm going to do now. I'm going to measure this up because I need to measure the width of the TV so that I can get all my frame trim done, and then realistically I need to just lay the other trim down and then just measure on top. So let me take a measure today.
So we have the TV and the frame in the background. Now I do need, I couldn't get none in B&Q, so what I need to get is it's like some sort of elastic strapping, you know what you'd put over a chair or something like that, webbing, elastic webbing. And what I need to do is staple some at the back of the frame and like do it along so that I can sort of tuck it under the frame, i.e. pulling it closer, and at the top. I did do the lip at the top, so it is on it. I just want to make sure it's super flush. I don't know how I feel about the woods though. You think I should go back white, do you think, Al? I don't know, I wanted to add something. I've messed about a little. Obviously once this is pushed on, you can't actually see the black.
So have you shown, look how that picture looks like. It don't even look like, it looks like a real bit of
I know, I need to do the brightness setting though. I need to adjust that because there's a brightness setting where you can make this less bright and you can download your own pictures and stuff onto it. And I said to Gary, it'd be quite nice to have up there because it's really flat and the profile. I'm going to take you off the camera stand so you can see. So the way I've built the frame is so that it actually is at the side as well. So I used a bit of trim at the side to really make it look as though it is just a frame and not the TV. I'll show you the other side as well, try not to make you dizzy. But look, so obviously the TV is off the wall, but you can't see any of the black. But once the bottom is strapped, that will be fitted as well at the bottom.
You can't notice it, Rose.
No, you can't, no. From front on you can't. You can see a little bit of black, but you won't see that, obviously, and that little bit there. But that'd be once that's strapped back. That's just because it's leaning forward a little bit. The setting, though, I can't believe this. I said to Gary, how excited for Christmas.
You should show them like, all the different
pictures you can do. So as I did say, guys, we did buy the TV. And I just think it looks really nice. It makes it not too high when you're watching telly. The other one was too big, wasn't it, Gal?
Yeah.
For that. But I will just say the reason why we bought a TV, in case people are thinking, why have you just bought a TV for the look of it? It's actually because Millie's TV broke in her bedroom and she needed a TV. So what we said is the boys could have the large TV, so when they do gaming, she can have their TV and then we could get the new telly in here. So rather than getting the new telly for Millie's bedroom, because she didn't need a frame one or anything like that, we thought we'd get the TV for down here. But I am going to show you because, I've come off now. We've got the artwork, but you can have loads of different pictures. Like some of them are like Van Gogh ones, and you can just have all the pictures. They're just so pretty. And also as well,
some of them just look unbelievable.
I know. Well, you know what? Once it's downloaded,
I mean, look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that in the?
Yeah, you can see it. But I don't know if
that looks
you
like
can add a frame as well. So I was messing around with it last night, and you could add mounts to it. And you can have different colours as well. I tried this like beigey colour and this green, and the green looked really nice. So I did the beige. But it just looks like, it's a bit grey-y coming up on the camera.
It looks like it's just a picture.
It actually does.
Doesn't it?
It doesn't in
What's
it
your
doesn't
eyes like?
it doesn't actually in the on the camera. It's not picking it up like that, but I liked this mount. Yeah. That one. And I like the colour, the off-white, but I need to adjust the brightness because you can't really tell, but it actually does look like a waxwork. It just looks like a picture. It really does.
That looks like that's coming out, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Well, I'm just so happy with the fireplace. Obviously, now it's been painted. I repainted it in strong white by Farrow & Ball, and I'm just so happy with the colour this is. But I need your advice, guys. Do I keep this wood or do I go back white? Just because I felt like it needed a bit of something. Obviously, I am planning on doing things to the walls, etc. But obviously, this job needed to be wrapped up. We're going to be having the boys' birthdays at the end of the month. We've obviously had lots of things going on, like I have mentioned before. So there's been lots of things going on. Standby is actually that. That's it off. That's the telly off. So when your telly is off, it looks like a piece of artwork. So I'm thinking I'm always going to kind of have like floral landscape ones. I'm thinking of maybe for autumn buying one of the Etsy prints, which is like mostly the trees in the orange, etc. Like falling leaves. They also have ones for like Halloween, etc. It'd be really nice. And I'm thinking the wooden frame looks quite nice with the contrast of the picture. And then I'm thinking come spring, like the pink florals. You know, it'd be quite nice, like spring sun. It'd be really nice. So I don't know whether to leave this wood, paint this white, or do I even go over this with some rub and buff and some gold?
Paint it back white.
Paint it back white, you say?
That's what I think.
Yeah, because we've got the frames and that. But yeah, this is the fireplace. Let me stand back up because I'm being lazy now. Pleased with how it looks. As I did say though, I'm probably going to be doing
in these two sections here and here, doing the tongue and groove panelling, and maybe putting like some plates on the wall and make it like really chintzy. And it will also go with obviously the kitchen, because I want the view to sort of like, as it all opens out together, look cohesive, but also have its own little bit of personality. I did say to Gary, I don't know whether to have this area designated for the Christmas tree or keep the Christmas tree where we usually keep it. I know people think, why are you planning your house around a Christmas tree? But that is me, I can't help it. It's my favourite season. Autumn is like the climax to it, and then Christmas is the crescendo. But alternatively, I'm thinking, do I just keep my Christmas tree in the same area? Or I might just pop the dresser out like I do every year to have the Christmas tree there. And I'm possibly thinking of getting like a little armchair, just a nice little occasional one, because as I did say, the whole point of the room was to reconfigure it, because it felt like it was just a walk-through room. It didn't feel like an actual room on its own. I feel like having this has really made it feel like much more of a space. What are you saying, Gal? Do you think a nice armchair would look nice here?
Yeah, I think
Yeah?
it would look nice, yeah.
Gary's tired, he had a little nap, he got back from work and he's having a little nap on the sofa. Got a headache?
Yeah, I think
And he said to me today, he was like, it's because I hadn't drunk any coffee.
I
Do you drink
think
so
it
much
is, yeah.
coffee? Withdrawal, it probably is.
I didn't have a cup of coffee.
That's
this
how I
morning.
felt with sugar. You start to get massive headaches.
Yeah. I never have headaches either, do I?
No, I drink more water. Yeah, but he has been up since early for work. But yeah, he got home and we're literally just about to pick the kids up. So he got up early. I think some people seem to think that you get off super early, but realistically, some mornings you're up at like 4, 3 o'clock
Swings
in the
around
morning.
about, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm thinking maybe like a little armchair in the corner. But I am going to try and thrift one. I feel like if I can go to a charity shop, there's so many beautiful ones there. I don't know if I'd want to reupholster one myself, if I'm completely honest, because I don't think I'd have the capabilities. I've reupholstered certain things. I could do like a footstool, and I could do like, you know, an ottoman or a chair on like, you know, like like an armchair or something. I could do that, but not like a full armchair with arms, etc. Just the seating bit. And I just feel like I could get something that looks near enough what I want, and then possibly make some cushions with some nice fabric that I could find to then make it look more beautiful, like a throw pillow, rather than spending out loads of money on something that exactly fits. But I will have a look as well, because there's a few websites as well. There's the website of Interior, where you can get other bits. There's Etsy, and sometimes people put bits on eBay and stuff like that. I found some amazing bits on there, so I'm going to have a little look. I'm also going to show you the bench out in the hallway now, because the little top bit did come, the little seat pad, and I love it. As I did say, it was a send back item, so I didn't have it custom made for the bench. However, it must be like quite a known standard size, either that or it must be the perfect size for the IKEA Malm bench, because it's 140, I think, the cushion, but where I've built mine out to make it more custom, I've made it a bit deeper and I've also made it a bit wider, and how much I've made it wider by is how much it's shy of. But I will show you. I don't think it really matters, and I think it looks really lovely, and I've saved so much money doing that. It was cheaper to buy one that was a send back item than it was to actually, you know, buy one from scratch or make one from scratch for the materials and stuff that I need. So I'm going to show you that now as well. So I'm sorry that it's a bit dark, but it's quite a grey day. So here is the seat pad for the bench. Now, it's really lovely. It's this beautiful like dark olive green and linen. I love the little button details. It's so nice. And it's so rustic looking, but it just really goes well. As I did say, I did build the bench out a bit. I can pop it up a bit actually. It's probably moved where the kids are putting their shoes on. It does fit really lovely. We have, however, got a space down here where I built the bench up. So where the bench would have ended, there's a gap here, which is fine. And to be honest, now that's been pushed up, it's probably not that big, but there is a gap here. I'm gonna say, in a weird way, it actually fits better than when I first got it. I think where it's been getting sat on, it sort of squished it and made it longer. Because that gap, I'll see if I took a bit of footage. I think I actually took a picture to send to Gary. If I've got it, I'll send it, because the gap was like literally to about there. So I'm thinking, as you can see, some bits are fatter and some bits have gone skinnier. So I think it's where it's been getting sat on, or it's rested, because it was folded obviously quite small in the packaging as well, because it didn't come in a big packaging like that. I'm thinking that it's just spread, which has worked out really well for me. I mean, I know it was only out about an inch anyway, because I think I made it 143 rather than 140, but if I was getting this made, I would have had it, mind you, it's probably worked out rather well, but I think it looks really nice. I've kept this pumpkin cushion out, But I'm thinking I'm going to make one. I've got a tablecloth that I got from Camden, and it's like an olive block print sort of like tablecloth, and it is a bit too small for my table, so I'm thinking I'm going to make a couple of cushions, maybe like one big cushion and then like a bolster out here. If you haven't seen the video as well where I painted the door and added my little country curtain, I will pop that as well, because obviously I'll show you the paints and everything that I used. But yeah, I'm just so happy with this space too. You happy, gal?
Yeah, I like it.
I was just saying, look, you know there was that gap down there that I showed you, and you was like, don't worry about it, it don't matter.
Yeah.
It literally come to where that started.
Yeah.
That's like spread out now. It was like a gap like that, weren't it?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Like you said,
It's probably where it's been sat on. Yeah. Oh, lucky. Got super lucky with that. Do you know what's funny? I thought a few people would have gone, no, you should have just spent more money and you should have just, you know, like got one properly made. But actually, it's like I pushed it all the way up. So there's a bit of a gap here, as you can see. But the gap was like double that. Crazy. So yeah, here is the finished bench pad and stuff as well. I think it just looks really nice. And I thought as well, it looked really cute out here. Maybe to move that basket. So Albert has his shoes in this basket, but this one at the end has just got hats and gloves in. So I'm going to put in the Fortnum Mason hamper out there. There's two. One for Archie's football boots, and the other one is normally where they keep their hats and scarves and gloves. But while it's not been weather for that, I've sort of just put them there because he likes putting his shoes in here. So what I think I'm going to do is move this basket out and put a little, like, I got like a pot from the charity shop, and it's in like an olive green, and it's like a stoneware, and I've got a Christmas tree, and I think I would have put like a tall little skinny, it's only till about here, Christmas tree with a few lights on it out here for Christmas. And, you know, just hang a few bits out, why not? Oh, before I go, I wanted to show you as well, I've got something from Asda. I've got some like little candle holders. I wanted to quickly show you as well before I go. I got these from Asda the other day. I went in there to get some food shopping, and they had these beautiful, they look like they're antique brass, but they look like a goldy colour. Little candlesticks. Honestly, you would not believe the price these. Like, if you bought these out of like Oliver Boners or what's it called? Anthropology. My brain's gone dead. Anthropology. I would 100% believe you. Like, even the feet are tapered like little bow feet. These were £3 each in Asda. £3, and I thought at Christmas, obviously with big garlands and stuff, nice candles. How beautiful are they? £3 from Asda. And the reason I've showed you this because I know I shared the bows off of Shein and stuff the other day with you in a video, and I just thought, and lots of you said that you love the bows, so I thought I'd share these. What, £3 each? £3. I was so happy to get them. I think even on the table they look nice, like, you know, for a table setting. I just thought they were lovely. But what a touch about the cushion pad. Like, I can't believe that. Like, it's actually spread. I think you can see it though. It was like very, the way they'd folded it, it was quite squished up, and the big bit in the middle, I was like sort of patting out to make sure that it's sort of like be stretched. But it's worked out really well, obviously, where the kids sit on it to put their shoes on and stuff. Yeah, but really happy with that. As I did say, guys, I know some of you have actually messaged me to say, Rosie, are you ever going to get around to making a Roman blind? And the truth is, I do keep saying in every single video, and I am aware of it, like, I'll make it next time, I'll make it next time. Literally since the last video I done, and I said obviously we'd had the 2 deaths and the funerals, literally the day after, another person passed. And I don't even want to talk about it because it just feels like it's just a thing that's happening at the moment. But we've just not had the time. It's been a case of trying to even sort the children out so we can comfort family members and be there and be helpful. And, you know, then there's funeral planning, and then there's funerals, and, you know, the general stuff of the kids and their clubs and their football and their friends and keeping them running the house. And it's just been carnage. There's just not been time or space for me to sit there and make Roman blinds at the moment. I did say to Gary, like, I feel like really positive, and my favourite time is Christmas. And even though I've not been able to fully embrace autumn and do lots of autumn crafts, and I've done a few crafts in the background a couple of weeks back, like I made like pumpkin books. I've made, I'll show you, it's actually hilarious. I've made like clay ghosties. I planned on doing these videos for you guys. Let me just go grab them. Like, I made lots of little bits. I might do a little video, just like a little video, like a little compilation. I made loads of different things, but I haven't even shared. I just haven't had the time to edit. Like, so even if I've like sat there and crafted up my table and just done a little bit of something like that, it's just been, I filmed it, but then I ain't talking to the camera. It's just that I thought I'd do like a little voiceover, and I haven't even had time to do that. So yeah, I haven't done as much autumn stuff as I like to do. But coming up now, as it is coming up towards the Christmas season, I feel like I want that as well. I just want that happiness and that joyous feeling of just doing it. But hopefully you'll understand, and yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video, guys. I've been Rosie Henshaw. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what your favourite part is. Do you think I should paint this in a white or leave it wood? Or go over it with rubber buff in the gold? It's hard because I would naturally go for gold, but then I've got all like light switches that are in silver, and obviously it's be too much money to change them all, and then I've got my taps and handles, so we've just kept everything silver because I said, you know, when we got it done, gold had very much gone brass, had come up in fashion, and I said to Gary, I don't want to have something that's in fashion in case it becomes a thing that I really don't like, so we just got standard like chrome on everything, and yeah, I don't know if that'll just contrast too much. Let me know. But yeah, hope you enjoyed today's video, as I say, and take care. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will fit in the blind making now. I will have a bit more time and some crafts. I will do that for you. So I've been Rosie Henshaw. See you later. Take care. Bye.